The good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They begin the drive with Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Bears, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Wilson to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jones on the return. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Bears take over. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now Fields. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now, before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Fourth down, so they send out Trenton Gill. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Smith to return it. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 39, Wilson. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. That kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Out quickly to Judy. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll get about 5 here, so he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Patrick. And he will have a Broncos first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary?
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Play action. It's Fields. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. First down carry here for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. For the Bears at 500 at 6 and 6. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Second down and 8. Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. This offense so far on third down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And this defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard. They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They've reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The extra point up and good. And it's now 14-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
A final shot before the break. Fields. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Here's Johnson again on second down.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
We can make this one pretty simple. Blocked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Boy, that's 3 points you really expect to have. That's nothing more than lack of concentration to me, because an NFL kicker should make this kick in his sleep.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They go to Johnson again, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Off play action, Fields. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Baron Browning, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3rd and long. It's Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Chicago. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
A gain of 34 yards. First down, Denver.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. First and 10, it's Wilson.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Back to throw. Wilson. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
At the 3-yard line.
Williams going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
From the 5, 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown.
Javonte Williams hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Take it in at the 3. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From his goal line here, Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Alex Singleton. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
So they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. If this were hindsight as 2020 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise him and catch him off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover, put your defense in a bad spot.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. On the counter, here's Williams. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. Hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll run it with Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams
with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year.
And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long. Here's Fields.
And they're going to sack him again, the 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
So this will wind up a Denver victory.